This is going to be a quick guide for getting very easy TMs and some very useful TMs as well. So first off, we're going to be heading to Hia City inside the Pokemart. This will be a TM shop. So in this TM shop, we can go and find a nice little bit of TMs. These will be more protective TMs: Light Screen, Protect, Safeguard, Reflect, and Aurora Veil. So if you are planning on running a Hail team, the Aurora Veil will be very, very nice for you. Reflect, Light Screen, those play into a lot of strategies as well. Safeguard is usable, and Protect is a staple in double battle. So this is going to be a really awesome one-stop shop to that more technical style of play. In Coney City, there is also a TM shop. I think Bulk Up is going to be one of the more usable ones here. Also, Double Team. Double Team is an excellent move, so you will want to go and pick that up. Shadow Claw does have some tech. Dragon Tail as well. I don't know about the Low Sweep or the Venoshock, but Venoshock can be used in some sets. People have been running it on the Toxapex or any kind of like Toxic Spikes, poison kind of status team right there. But I'm thinking the Bulk Up, if you need that for many different strategies, this is where you want to go and pick that up. In Malai City, the TM shop in the Pokemon Center will have a variety of pretty useful moves. The Roost will be a staple for many people. Also, as we go through it, we can see like the Bulldoze, the U-Turn, Swords Dance, and Rock Polish. So Rock Polish, a lot of Pokemon pick that one up. Swords Dance is very, very commonly used. So this is where you can go and find yourself the Swords Dance. Aerial Ace is fairly usable on some Pokemon to go against that evasion. We also have the Facade, so if you're running any kind of status or you just want the Facade next to Guts or a Pokemon like that, that's going to be pretty good. And then that will be the bulk of what you can get from the Pokemart here. Then we can go and head over to Seafolk Village, and there will be some really nice TMs right here. So we get all of the big blasty kind of moves. We have Blizzard, we have Solar Beam, we have Thunder, Fire Blast, all those really big, low-ish accuracy kind of moves right there, and the Calm Mind. So we can pick up Bulk Up and Calm Mind as well as Roost through the just shops. So it's really easy to go into some of these shops and grab some of the really good moves right there. Calm Mind, very usable on many, many different Pokemon, so that's going to be good. Sludge Wave is a staple on a lot of very high-hitting Poison-type Pokemon. Giga Impact can be usable on some Pokemon. Then we have the Focus Blast and the Stone Edge. High damage, low accuracy, but people will run them, so that is where you can go and pick up these items right there. And also on Royal Avenue inside the Pokemon Center in the Pokemart. For Royal Avenue, we can get all of the weather moves. So they are also pretty pricey as well. Hail, Sunny Day, Rain Dance, and Sandstorm. So a lot of the Pokemon and a lot of the team compositions that want to use these and synergize with these, that is where you'll be able to find these items right here. But Hail, all of those 50,000 each, so you will need a good amount of money before you go and grab it. I'm just going to get the Rain Dance for now because that's about all I can afford. There are also some very quick and easy TMs that you can find outside of Pokemon Centers that are still very useful, such as Trick Room. So all you have to do is go and beat the game, become champion, beat the Elite Four, do all that fun stuff right there, head over to the Grand Resort and talk to Kahili, and then she will give you a little bit of dialogue, and then after that you will receive a Trick Room. Trick Room is awesome. Like, this is one of these staples that everyone needs in their TM bank, because Double Battle's really good right there. Also, it's really fun to just play with those Trick Room, slow setup kind of Pokemon, and really just turn the tides of battle. It's a really fun thing. I recommend a lot of people have it. Also, Ice Beam. I mean, if you play Pokemon for more than 3 minutes, you already know how usable Ice Beam is. So at the beginning of the Mount Lanakila Cave, you can go and find Ice Beam. Then you just make a left, you go up to a little ledge, and Ice Beam will be waiting for you. So that's going to be a very useful one right there. Also, remember, HMs have been removed, but some of them are still accessible as TMs. So if you want to go and get Fly, head on over to Malai City and talk to this girl right here. She's like, hey, where I came from, we used to be able to fly around. What gives? But then she's like, I don't need this anymore here. Now you can use Fly in battles since it is no longer an HM. Also in Malai City, all you have to do is head to the Malisalda shop at night, and then there'll be a little bit of dialogue once you talk to the Oranguru. This will give you Frustration and Return. Return and Frustration can be very usable, especially on like normal type physical Pokemon. You just want to have a max happiness return Pokemon doing tons of damage. So that's going to be a solid pickup for TMs right there. And then we got to go over to the Pony Breaker Coast where some really annoyingly fun stuff happens. So talk to these two girls right here, and then they're like, yo, let's have a multi-battle. And then you have the multi-battle, and then you receive Waterfall and Surf. So also these very usable in battle, especially Waterfall. That's like your physical go-to stab on a lot of Pokemon like Gyarados. Surf is kind of interesting. It's still like a good attack, but for the most part, people will go and run the Scald instead. Even with the Scald burn being nerfed a bit, we can still see where that ends up going, but that's how you get the HMs that are now TMs. And then if we want Will-O-Wisp, Will-O-Wisp, very, very usable, so head on over to Coney City, go through the Diglett Tunnel, and then just kind of go to the left. Now, you might have noticed this through your adventure if you're just kind of exploring around, but you will be blocked off by a giant boulder. Well, if you have access to the Machamp, then you can go and push the boulder out of the way, head over to the lighthouse, and then Will-O-Wisp will be there. Will-O-Wisp, very, very powerful, inflicts that burn, makes it to where the opponent's physical attack will be cut in half because of the burn, so that's something that you want. And then also for Leech Life with the insane buff is absolutely usable right now, so you will want that. That's going to be on the Akala outskirts. Now I already picked this one up, but pretty much you go a little north of the Fisherman, and then Leech Life will be chilling there. So now let's go and check out some of the other TMs that you can get a hold of. I'm not going to do a guide on all 100 TMs. It's a little silly. I just want to show you guys the really easy ones you can go and pick up, because here's the thing about me. I have never received all the TMs in any Pokemon game. That I get the ones I need, and if I need another one, I go out and find it. And for the most part, you're going to encounter a lot of them throughout your adventure. That if you see a gold Pokeball, you go and grab it, because you're going to kick yourself later when you find out it's a usable TM. So you can get a lot of them through that, most of them through the shops. There's going to be some that are pretty out of the way that you will have to find. That's why I just go over to Cerebi. If you go into Cerebi, you can pretty much find everything that you need at the time that you need it, and then you're going to have to collaborate that with Poke Earth. So you go and say, alright, I need, what move do I need? Let's go for this, well, Steel Wing's actually from the shop. I showed that earlier on in the video. Let's say I need the Psychic. So you can see Psychic right here, and then it'll say Aether Paradise. So what we want to do is go on over to the Poke Earth. Pretty much has like a lot of descriptions and stuff, and you can select any area. So what you want to do is collaborate the areas right there. Go to the Aether Paradise, and then that means you can scroll down until you get to the item section. Boom, TM29 from Wick after defeating Nil Ego, TM06, absolute southwest of the docks. So you can do a little bit of exploring. I think the descriptions are good enough for the most part that I haven't had to like look up any videos for the TMs. I just use the Cerebi method, and then I'm able to find all of the TMs that I want. So just kind of showing some of the more usable TMs and some of the more useful ones. A lot of them you can just kind of pick up. Like I believe False Swipe is just given to you at a point in the game. In the first trial, that once you receive Tauros, you can head back to the first trial. That's how you receive Thief. So if you see an item, just try to remember to go back to it later, and then that will pay off pretty well. And then the rest of them are going to be pretty interesting. I talked about Dazzling Gleam. Dazzling Gleam is technically achievable during like the storyline. You just have to go a little bit out of the way, so you can find other things like that, and then as you need them, you can go and grab them. I kind of mentioned Scald earlier, so we can go and look at Scald. That's going to be on Brooklet Hill. So then what we want to do, head back over to this part of the Cerebi for Poke Earth, go to Brooklet Hill, and then I think I already picked it up, so maybe that's why I can't really show a video for it. But then you can see like the locations, a nice little map of the area, and as you scroll down even more, boom, TM55, southeast of the second lake, requires Lapras. So it tells you everything you need. And the greatest thing right now, the greatest thing about TM hunting ever, or any kind of item exploration, is that you do not need HMs, because, oh, if you've beaten the game, you have all of the Pokeride Pokemon, so you just head out there, and I recommend some repels, so get some super repels, run through the area, and then you can find all the TMs really, really easily. I'm trying to think about some other ones that you guys might want to get, because there's just so many really good TMs that you keep using over and over. Also, unfortunately, I'm still a little salty that there is no move tutor, because it seems like a lot of 7th Gen Pokemon would be a lot more powerful with the move tutors. Also, Alolan native Pokemon, like 7th Gen native non-Pokebank transfer Pokemon, have a little bit of nerfs, even if they're from previous generations, and they now, again, suddenly, just after one game, they don't have access to the move tutors anymore. So that's a little awkward right there, and I feel like a lot of people are going to have some problems with like, oh, you didn't show all of the TMs, you know, clickbait, all that stuff. I just don't think that's worth going out and finding every single TM just so when you might need it, because I know that a lot of these won't be usable. It's why I didn't spend money to buy a lot of them in the shops and stuff, and sometimes they are a little bit out of the way, and it will be like very specialized. I'm just showing like, okay, Will-O-Wisp, usable. Flamethrower, that's gonna be another usable one, but I don't like going to the Vast Pony Canyon, so I think I already got this one at least, though. It's kind of showing that you do have to give up some of the other ones. I think some people are going to use Volt Switch as well, so that's going to be in Mount Hokulani. And moves like that. So here's the thing, like I feel like when you have an all TMs guide, it gets a little difficult to find everything. That's like, okay, now I have to scroll through the list, I have to click on the link to watch it. I think it's just actually going to be faster and a bit more efficient to go and get the TM you want when you need it, and then go through Cerebi or something like that, and then that's kind of like how I use the guide. kind of very similar to when I do like my how to use guides as well, when it comes to Pokemon, that you need to use all of the resources, that I can't explain everything in a single video, but also at the same time, this might not do the job, that there might be some tricky ones, and I know that, you know, it's probably covered somewhere else. I'm just kind of showing you the easier ones that I like doing at my leisure, and then that's going to make life a bit easier for everyone involved. So if you guys enjoyed the video, showing off some TMs, showing off how to get some really useful stuff in Pokemon very easily without having to, like, over stress about it, you know, the casual guide to TM. So if you guys enjoyed the video, hope you all have a nice day. Thank you very much for watching.